ringmaster, Mr. Matt Schlapp, on the line. Matt, congratulations on a great CPAC.
Kurt, it was great to have you there, and we're still trying to figure out who's really running the Biden administration.
You know, the takeaway from the media, the coverage of my panel, which is who's the boss? Where's my applesauce? Who's running the Biden administration, was when I called him a desiccated old weirdo. And the takeaway from the liberal media, well, there were several takeaways, but one was it was a giant Trump rally, and that's not the feeling I got. We people like Trump, they respected Trump, but they were spending a lot of time on other issues like electoral integrity, cancel culture, and civil rights. Is that kind of the feeling you got?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. You have 3+ days of speakers, panels, topics. You have over 100 speakers talking about different things. I didn't watch every moment on the stage. Kurt, there were, I'm sure, things that were said on that stage that I wouldn't agree with. It was really diverse. I'm positive there were things that you said I didn't agree with.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, there you go.
Well, Matt Schlapp, I mean, there were lots of stupid distractions. The great. Were you aware that some obscure rune sort of looked like the layout of the stage, or was that kind of was that even shocking, even for the idiotic liberal media?
Yeah, it's just, we sit around before the conference and we always say, we know there'll be some ridiculous charge that will take over Twitter. What could it possibly be this year? And, of course, you're thinking something associated with Donald Trump because we're going to uncancel him. He's going to come give this great speech. And instead, within seconds of the or moments with a conference starting, you know, they have got these pictures comparing our stage to some kind of Nazi symbol. And, you know, I just don't put anything past them. I mean, first of all, what does it matter? You know, we have nothing to do with anti-Semitism or fascism or Nazism. As a matter of fact, we had the ambassador to Israel on our stage. We had, you know, Jewish prayer services. We had a Shabbat dinner. We welcomed the Jewish community to CPAC in a larger way each year. So the fundamental charge of anti-Semitism is completely the opposite of what we are. But that was the intent. The intent was to try to get us to, slow down, get defensive, have the media coverage get overtaken. And, you know, a lot of people in the media go along with it. Kurt, I was somewhat surprised that I had 3 more mainstream national reporters come up to me and say they thought it was totally outrageous and a distraction. And, you know, their papers still covered it, unfortunately, but the reporters themselves felt like this was wrong. And because they sit in the back of the room and they watch the programming, it's good.
The programming was great. There were a lot of superstars up there. We saw Ron DeSantis comes out, and you know the knock on him is he's not a great retail politician. I thought his speech was very good. Kristi Noem showed up. The great Rick Grenell, who you and I both worked with in Nevada fighting for electoral integrity, he was terrific, and he was the he was the big will he or won't he question this time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. I think a lot of people are rooting for Rick to run for governor of California. He and I were laughing backstage. You would have laughed at this too, Kurt, because the only time the Democrats are really into signature verification is when there are petitions to recall Gavin Newsom. They're checking those signatures. They're like Santa Claus.
Oh, they got their magnifying glasses out. It's very important to have electoral integrity just this once. Matt Schlapp of the American Conservative Union, the initial media spin was, you know, this is going to be a giant Trump rally and people are going to be depressed and angry and defensive. I found it entirely the opposite. I thought people were pumped and excited and ready for the fight. How about you?
Yeah, that was the number one thing I walked away with, is that people want to be with people. And conservatives have felt so maligned and canceled over the course of the last year they really wanted to be with each other. And I spent some time. I'd never come to one of these conferences early. I did this time so I could spend a day kind of getting ready, getting my mind ready. And we were around the pool, and all these people were coming up, and they were just happy people. And, Kurt, the pandemic was terrible, but we've got several inoculations, lots of therapies.
Yep.
And quite honestly, I feel terrible, and I pray for the people who are sick, but I don't want to have our society controlled by this any longer, and I don't want to have our society controlled by the Dr. Seuss haters. I just think it's insane.
Well, Matt Schlapp, I saw that you've already announced the dates for the next CPAC. I believe they're 2 to 5 March 2022. Where's it going to be?
Let me get out of Florida. Believe it or not, I escaped to the beach. Let me get back with my team. My understanding is we have a couple years left in the contract with the Gaylord. But I want to meet with the team and figure out what our next step is. Here's the thing about CPACs everyone should know. We have one big Super Bowl, but we have lots of events now in different cities across the country and across the world. And so we're going to keep traveling. We're going to load up the jet and go to these other countries, and we're going to go to other big cities in our country. So if you can't get to the big one, we're going to have something else near you.
Well, may I humbly suggest, Matt Schlapp, that the ACU hold one of those in Los Angeles, because there, with the recall going on of Gavin Newsom and the recall of George Gascon, our Soros-funded DA, I think there would be a great response, and of course, there's a lot of talent out here as well as me.
I agree. We have CPAC West each year. We've had it in Reno, Nevada, and not everything should be on the East Coast. Matter of fact, the more I live there, the more I wonder if anything should be happening on the East Coast. There's a big country out there, and there's a lot of freedom lovers, even in California. Surprisingly, large numbers of freedom lovers in California, because when you live under socialism, you know what? You never like it.
Exactly, and both our wives, who are of Cuban descent, understand that fully. Matt Schlapp, congratulations on a great CPAC. It's probably my favorite of the many CPACs I've gone to. It was a great event. Forget the haters. I'm looking forward to next year, and I'd love to see you guys out here. Go to the beach, hang out with your family, take a well-deserved rest. Thank you, Matt Schlapp.
Thank you, Kurt Schlichter. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, my friend.